Yo, what is good? High TF mob. It is your boy Booba back with the Friday review. And y'all see how we are coming. Okay. So as as everyone's coming into the channel, whatnot, if you're new and haven't really been following along, you can always feel free to go back to the earlier videos before this to kind of get more clarification as to what I'm doing on a week by week basis. But honestly, this week, this Friday, this whole trade week was a great week for me. I was actually able to pass the first part of my FTMO, or not even my FTMO, but my funded challenge through Osprey FX. So it was the same one I think I showed two videos ago, two or one video ago, where I was basically explaining how you can trade to become a funded trader. So here I'll show you guys the proof that the moves that I took this week led to me passing. As you can see here, there's a GJ sell I took, a profit of 419. I sold AJ another 185, and then I sold UJ. And then of course, on the weekly analysis for Sunday, which was posted Tuesday, was these two trades that I ended up taking on that Monday to basically kind of inch me closer towards passing. So as you can see here, the max daily drawdown was respected. I passed that. I got the amount that I needed to pass, which is 2,519. Granted, the trades that I took, like UJ, I closed early. I closed out of all these early because I don't really care to go really high over the profit target. But with UJ, this actually ended up going the full distance, which was like 1,000 in return. And I'll end up showing you guys that on the demo or on the controller account that I use, which is right here. You can see this is the balance on that account, which is 28K. So had I left all my trades in from what we reviewed, I would have been up much higher. But again, it's not really about you don't want to be greedy. So basically just knowing when to take your profits and knowing when to leave the market and when to come back is so important, because again, you're not going to be, having that fear of missing out, and you kind of start to understand the art to trading. So we're going to start off with AU this week. What I like to do, as far as if you've watched my past videos, is I like to leave the setups that I took, or the entries that I took from, or basically throughout the week. I like to leave them all there, so that way you guys can see like what were positions that I acted on and why I acted on them, why I looked at it at the time as that setup. And then from there, you guys moving forward will start to understand why I trade the way I do, or what I'm looking at, so on and so forth. So starting with AU, right? We're going to go top down again. We had this current weekly candle, which started off by selling off, ended up buying back up. And I remember I had caught that piece of that daily bullish engulfing signal that we got down here, which is this one right here. So I got a piece of that move off of here by going down into the 4-hour, 1-hour candles, and then just took it up to this wick. Now you can see price is kind of showing you another confirmation for another buy. So this will probably be a trade setup that I'll be looking to take next week to help me pass my test. So again, it's all about mapping out the whole high frame and understanding how to read the candles enough to time your entries right to fill the gaps. So right here on the daily, you can see this was where the bullish engulfing happened, drop down to the 4-hour. And if we bring price back, this is what price looked like for me at the time that I took the position. And keep in mind, I always tell you guys about the 4-hour candle and how you can use that to time your entry. So this 4-hour candle was trailing up to this previous high. So I knew within that next 4-hour candle, right, which is going to end up closing at 12, it had to be inching up at least somewhat higher to be testing, which validated that I could take this position on the buy-in and then minimize my risk as soon as it starts rolling in profit and breaks the level. And not only that, when it breaks the level, if price continues to respect its structure, I knew it was going to get to at least this point. So price moved up, and hold on. Let's actually go back for one candle, because I want to go down to the hourly to show you where I would have timed my entry, or where I did time my entry. So now you can see on the 1-hour right here, you have that situation where you're coming up from your swing low, you're aiming for the swing high, just to come test it and see if it respects. If it respects, now it's probably going to swing back to the low. So right here on the hour, after that, those last four printed and created that 1 4-hour candle going upwards. This was now our new hourly candle to deal with that new 4-hour candle. And about 2 hours in, it usually shows itself. See, so about 2 hours in, you can see price came down, tried to test the low, couldn't even come close. Or actually went up a little bit, couldn't break the high, came down, tried to test the low to break the low, couldn't do that. And within that next hour candle, you could have been down on the 15-minute to see a more clear signal of price making that retest to the low, but getting rejected here for your entry up. And honestly, this is what I was actually looking at, was the 15-minute to line this up. So and then you let that play out. And as long as price respects the structure, what you do is, what I like to do is I like to take my stop loss and trail it where the 15-minute made a rejection move, but then continued in the same direction. So we'll just do that. So this would be like my stop loss. And what I would have done was let price play out, comes back against you. Okay. So wherever price made that rejection and then left, that's where we move our stop loss to. So at this point, you had already been at break even. You would have left stuff alone. Price would kept moving. And you're just waiting for this high to break now. Now it broke. So this is the time to be like, okay, if I wanted to trail my stop, I'd put my stop somewhere around here. You can do it here if you want to be really aggressive about closing out your profits, or you can give it room if you trust your analysis for things to continue. So you would have kept letting it go. And then this would have been your next level here, because you had the down candle before the level came and broke the high. And that would have been another area to move and secure profit. You would have let the price keep going up. And I'm going to show you guys kind of where I got up, because I didn't let it go the full 3%, knowing that it was probably just going to take that much longer. So you see prices coming down again, see, but did still respecting that low. And I'm just waiting for that high to show me. So boom, right here. There you go. Remember, the break is whenever the candle closes. So now I would have tailed, excuse me, I would have trailed in my stops here and let it ride out. And it's around this time was when I started to get out, like right here, because at this point price was really, really close, but was also showing that it was trying to reject. So at that point, I was ready to just be like, all right, I'm going to chalk it up and get out and then secure as much as I can out of this, even if it doesn't get there. But this is the main reason why, this right here. So that first dip right there, when that happened, that was the signal from right here. So right here, price came down. It created, well, first we came from the low, created our new high. Price tried to create a new higher low, and it looked like it was trying to keep doing the higher high. But once this rejection came up, that was when I was just about ready to move this here and then, let it just stop me out. So that's a big reason why you can use the 15-minute chart to trail your 4-hour entries, because then you'll know that if it's respecting your structure over and over, you're guaranteed to at least close out majority of that trade. Or if you don't close out majority, you get something, even if you get stopped out. So going back on that, once I seen all that movement happen, I knew, because we were coming back to our swing high, that all we're going to see one of two things: that rejection or that breakthrough. And the breakthrough happened, but at the time that I seen the breaks happen, it was throwing these wicks. I was thinking of this close candle right here. I'm just going to show you. Let's see, right there. But yeah, I was thinking the close of that candle right there was the break, and then this was the retest. So I was trying to look for that tight stop loss at re-entry for a 4-to-1. But as you can see, it stopped out. And also, I actually didn't even end up taking the position, because by the time that was even like really an option for me, I was seeing GJ. Hold on, let's see. I was seeing GJ, AJ, and UJ all set up. So around that time of that move happening, I was seeing this setup here. So when I seen this setting up, that was when I knew, okay, this is going to be the time to look for that potential drop back into these zones, and then price is going to collect liquidity at each of these little levels that I had marked up. So when I dropped down to the hour, the first signal for me of this situation being the reversal was that price was coming up and retesting the wick, and it came into a block, a real rise or institutional block zone, which was like right here. Like right here. Okay, so there was that one, and then there was another one up here. So for me, I was like, okay, these two institutional block levels are going to be where we might get some reaction. And once the 4 hour showed the rejection, this was in a way the break of structure, the beginning of the break of structure for the 1 hour chart. So all I would have to see at that point on the 1 hour, which is why I just paused it, was this right here. The price coming up and failing to wipe this out. And once that failed, because through the wicks, you honestly could have got a really tight entry right here and been able to put your stops probably right here. And then again, we're always targeting our swing lows and our swing highs because again, we're trying to wipe out liquidity. So it's just a matter of if price makes it through or not. So hold up, let's real quick, let me readjust that back because I want it to the original size. So you can see that that was a position I took. So when price dropped, when I seen that signal, I was seeing the same setup for UJ and then GJ as well. So that was why I took all three. And these were the three that allowed me to pass my test, because once price shot down, all I did was I just left it alone. I think I took the trade setup around Asia session on Monday night or Tuesday night. I think it was Monday night because, or no, Tuesday night, because on Monday, I think I got stopped out. So I think another thing I'll probably do is some lives on my YouTube so that you guys can just follow along with when I'm entering and things like that too. But yeah, that was basically what I did there. And then when price went down and created the lower highs and lower lows, that's when I knew, okay, I'm just going to keep an eye on the peak low to then take the money out. So as you can see, price trailed back up to the where we are now. But I got out around down here because again, I was using that theory of the 15-minute chart and just trailing my income on the way down. Because again, you got to kind of look at trading as if you were to be working on the clock. And if you're working on the clock and you punched in, you would want all your money, like you would want every minute to count, right? If you're trading, I look at it kind of the same way. Like back then, I used to try to always hit my third take profits and never trail my stops and be stubborn. But now I kind of more like adamant about doing that because again, I look at it as like an hourly rate, right? So if I'm putting in 2-3 hours into trading, I want to get something back out of it. And if all it's going to take me is just moving a line down to secure my money in, then I'm going to do that. So this trade setup right now is closed out on my actual test account. But keep in mind that I have the demo that controls that test account. So whenever I place trades through Oanda, it's being copied from here and pasted into my actual test. So that's how I trade off of my platform. But as far as this, like this trade setup being open is not anything I'm actively in. And then of course right here, UJ, this was a killer of the week. I ain't even gonna lie to you. This was a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. You can see right here. This is just a start. So like I still see this coming down. And I remember we were talking about the sells potentially popping off a couple weeks back. So now we can see that the downtrend is finally starting to form because this is kind of insinuating the weekly wants to pull back now. So this honestly will be probably the trades that end up helping me pass my test. I'm just going to be really patient about finding new entries. And then of course, Sunday, I'm going to do the analysis for everybody to see the new markups on the hour. But as far as this, I do remember in one of the videos I was telling you guys I got stopped out because I did have a sell position back here. I had a sell position back here, and I was looking for that drop to happen a lot earlier. And it ended up stopping me out just before this real move. So this is a great example of like price looked like, okay, it was going to break its structure, which it did, which is a valid time to get in. But when it came back was the time to understand this was being respected and they're going to come up and test it one more time, or at least come test these previous highs. And this is where, of course, you would have your institutional block. Boom. Okay. And that's where they kiss that block, and then they're out of there. Because again, this is where money is sitting. It's where heavy pools of money are sitting. So they use that, flip to reverse the market, and now we'll be looking for that retest. So after this hit, yeah, this was a great trade. I didn't even have to take it all the way down. And that's also the beauty of trading. When you do trail your stops down and you're on multiple different pairs at one time, that's a lot of money. These couple of candles is a ton of money. Like from just here to here was about like $500. This was supposed to return a full $1,200, but I only took half that profit. I didn't even take the full amount. We're close to half. And same deal here. This was about at like $300 or $400. So that's why you got to kind of look at it as like a job in a way, because if you do that, now you're going to be more adamant about closing your money out when it looks like the time is right. These trade setups I'll definitely get into next week, but honestly, all I want to do is just go over the trades that played out for me this week and just show you guys the progress made on my actual test. And this was due for the 9th of June. So next, what I want to do is potentially start a 100K test, but I'm not going to get into that until just some other things line up. But when they do, that's going to be the next thing you'll end up seeing on the channel. And I just want to show you guys a raw trading journey so you guys understand it's a journey. It's not like this stuff happens overnight. It takes time, it takes practice, and it's something you just got to kind of keep doing so that you get used to it. And when you get used to it, it becomes second nature. So again, you can also see how lazy my method is in a way, because I'm not even touching the map. Like I leave it alone, and then from there I'm playing off all the lines every week. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys again have any questions, feel free to reach out on my through my email or on my Facebook page. And this weekend I'm going to be trying to make time to make better edits for the videos that I'll be posting. But the main goal of what I was trying to do just starting this channel is just to pump out content so you guys can see like how I'm actively doing this week to week. This is something I've been doing for 4 years, going on 5. And I know I keep saying that as if like, oh, it should be the reason people should follow me. But like, no, it's just me saying that just to explain to you guys, like, this does take time. It is a diligent process. And the main reason why it takes time is because it literally takes time for this stuff, for these movements to happen. So if you're more adamant about coming on the markets, you'll see this stuff play out over and over and over to a point where it's all, you're conditioned to it. You understand what's going on pretty much almost at all times. So yeah, again, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please leave me any feedback, like, share with any loved ones that you feel like are feeling iffy about this industry, because that's the thing. People feel iffy about it because they don't understand it. So if you're watching someone who's helping you understand it, it'll start to click. But again, you guys have a great day. Thank you for coming through. Peace out, ITF.